Hey peeps, another unboxing. I know it's like unboxing week over here on the channel. Don't worry, I have a few deck lists and a special announcement coming this week for you guys as well. So be on the lookout for that. My information for Instagram, etc., is down in the description box below as well, so you can stay up to date because I do have a little bit of a special announcement coming to the channel at the end of the week. But that being said, we're doing kind of a compare and contrast today of the Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Reid. I'm sorry, guys, the light is coming in here. I mean, I'm not sorry because the sun is gorgeous, but it does white out in certain spots. So one of my beloved tarot sisters and viewers and Patreon supporters let me know that the Wisdom of the Oracle is now out in a pocket edition. And I thought, I'm going to get it. So I did purchase this. And I thought we would do a little compare and contrast. So I just want to speak a little bit to my experience with Colette Reid decks. If I remember, I have a full kind of review and breakdown of her decks up until I think it was 2021 or 22 on the channel. It has quite a few views, but I will put the description, I will put the link to that in the description box down below so that you can check that out if you want to know my thoughts and opinions on Colette's work as a whole. I really have a lot of conflicting thoughts about her decks. It's just going to be a chatty video today. Let's settle in. Grab a cup of tea if you want to join me, or if you're watching this in the evening, a nice little glass of wine or a gin and tonic. So I love her decks when it comes to readings for clarity. Wow, the light is really not working with me here. Let me move that out of the way. Her decks are really great for clear, sharp, to the point clarity in a tarot deck in a reading. Like, they're wonderful for that. I really do have to say, I love her decks for that. I don't often enjoy her artwork. The only deck where I really love the artwork is the Mystical Shaman Oracle. And I really, really love that deck. And I have that in the full size and the pocket edition. And I'm very glad I have both of those. And that's why I purchased this in the pocket edition as well, because of all of her decks, the ones that have stood the test of time for me as a reader are this one, Wisdom of the Oracle, and the Mystical Shaman Oracle. The others I've really fallen off of working with because I have to be in the right mood to be able to handle the artwork. Now, that doesn't mean that they don't clarify tarot very well, because they do, but the artwork can sometimes be very grating for me. And also, I don't find her decks really great for necessarily daily draws with deep personal reflection and deep journaling. And when I do a daily draw in my own practice, I really want an oracle deck that gives me a lot of meat on the bone. I talk about that a lot on this channel. So her decks just don't really offer that when it comes to the daily draw experience for me. I'm sorry, I'm trying to fix this. I just recently purchased this top and I love it because it's brown velvet. It's very hard to find brown velvet, but it's not like it's sitting weird while I'm sitting. Let's see. There we go. Okay, wardrobe malfunction over. This is also indicative of how I feel about Colette's decks. Like, they should work great, but slightly uncomfortable. Slightly not really working 100%, but they do the job. So sometimes you just need that kind of basic deck that's not much to write home about, but that does its job. And that's what I find a lot of her decks to be for me personally as time has gone on. Again, that's just my personal opinion. If you have an amazing experience with her decks, then please work with them. And as I said, I do really love the Mystical Shaman Oracle. I work with that deck a lot for sure. So we're going to do a little bit of a compare and contrast. So this is the full size. This is the typical Hay House publishing size deck. And then this is the pocket edition. I found kind of across the board that pocket editions have only improved my experience with a deck. I like having the small size. It works great for clarifying tarot in client readings. And also the small size is wonderful to be able to travel with. So I really, really enjoy that. So this is the pocket edition, as you can see. It looks very similar to the large size, just with this little addition of color there. So the explanation here for the deck itself: Colette Reid has expertly blended elements of traditional tarot and other ancient divination tools into a sacred communication system, wisdom of the oracle. The oracle, whose face gazes out from every card, acts as an intermediary between you and spirit, telling you of your fate and destiny. This 52 card deck will allow you to interpret her messages about all aspects of your journey, with over 250 independent meanings within the guidebook. Imagery of animals, the elements of nature, and other potent symbols will initiate a soulful dialogue about your life. Consult the oracle and know the way forward to peace, purpose, prosperity, and love. It retails for $17.99, and I think I paid pretty much that price on Amazon, so that is definitely true. Okay, trying not to break a nail so my nail tech doesn't kill me. Okay, so this always cracks me up. They do have the little white book in miniature form. This cracks me up, especially with Pocket Archetypes Oracle, because when I try to read the mini guidebook in that one, I'm like holding it up here trying to read the little print. But they do have the full size guidebook. It just doesn't have their card reproduction on it. And she does use reversals in this deck. She includes a main message, a relationship message, a prosperity message, and a protection message, which is protection equaling out to reversals, if that's what you're wondering what that is or not. So that's good. I don't really, honestly, use her guidebooks, with the exception of I will consult the Mystical Shaman Oracle guidebook on occasion if I feel stuck around something. But I don't typically consult her guidebooks. They're very kind of new age, introductory energy. And so I kind of want to go a little bit of a different direction. So I don't really reference her guidebook. So I probably really honestly won't even use that guidebook. I go completely intuitively with her decks. So same shiny cardstock. I know there's a word for that. Someone will tell me in the comments down below. Let's see what we think. Oh man, we were both commenting, my tarot friend and I, my dear tarot sister and I, that like the borders are still here in this deck and I don't like it. And in fact, they're a little bit thicker than in the full size, which is too bad. They are a little bit thicker. So I'll just take you through the imagery really quick. Cardstock is typical Hay House cheap cardstock. It's a little bit flimsier than the large size, which sucks, but it's all right. I'm going to shuffle the heck out of it anyhow, so. And so the thing with this deck is that with each image, you can see the oracle peeking through. You see her face there. So within each image, and Jenna DeGratalia did the artwork as usual, but within each image, you can see reflected the oracle. And it's meant to be the oracle having a conversation with you, right? Where is the oracle's face in that one, though? Oh, the oracle's face in that one is in the flamingo. So the idea being, you know, that you're really connecting in with this conduit, this voice of the gods, this voice of the divine for you. Now, I do enjoy the artwork on the whole in this deck a lot more than in her other decks. Even as I'm looking, I'm like, oh, okay, I can handle this artwork. It's totally fine. So that is very nice. And I definitely will get my use out of this purchase, especially in client readings. The card titles, like To the Sea, they're very to the point. The imagery is very much helpful in understanding the card meaning. And when you tie it into tarot, it's very, very easy and simple and fluid to add clarity to a question, to a card position, to an aspect of a spread. So this is definitely going to be something where I get my money's worth out of it and where it comes in handy as a reader. Now, if I wasn't a reader, would I need this deck? No. If I wasn't a card reader and I wasn't going to use this in professional practice to clarify tarot, I wouldn't need this deck. No. And if I was only going to buy one Colette deck, like if I wasn't a reader and I just wanted one Colette deck to have, this wouldn't be the one. I would purchase Mystical Shaman Oracle. But after Mystical Shaman, this would be next for me on the list. So let me see, the sun is kind of shifting now so I can show you there. You know, I do love it when Colette, when Jenna DeGratalia uses owls. I think she does a nice job on the whole with them. So that's a wonderful thing. but yeah, it's the deck itself is, again, it's very, very helpful to clarify tarot. And it's very nice for like a quick, concise answer to a question that you might have, right? So it's absolutely worth it from that perspective, but it's not a deck that like I'm going to die if I don't have in my collection, or that I would like miss a great deal, you know? It is what it is. And so as a reader, though, this is a great one to have in my collection. And here's another thing to keep in mind if you're a professional reader as well, especially if you do in-person or real-time readings and you're reading for a client who perhaps is new to having readings done or very nervous. A deck like this with its kind of soothing imagery that's very soft and gentle can allow the client to kind of exhale a little bit and relax. So if you're working with someone who's nervous about working with the cards, or coming out of a lot of fundamentalist Christianity dogma, or has some real trauma and needs a gentle touch, this is a great deck to have as an option. So like I said, if you're a professional reader, I do think you get your money's worth out of this deck. It's just not like a sweet spot for me. It's not a memorable deck in my collection. So even as I'm looking at it, it's just I'm very professional in my examination of it and in how I'm going to work with it, because I know exactly what I'm going to use it for. And it's not going to be as much fun as, say, the Les Vampires Oracle for me personally. However, there is a place and time in my work where this deck absolutely does have its work and worth. And so I know exactly where that will be. I'm going to show you a few more images and then I'll stop, because we're already 12 minutes in and I think you get the idea. I want to do just a little bit of a compare and contrast. So here, we'll stop at Loyal Heart because it has the barn owls, which I love. So the border is thicker. That's the only difference. That and the cardstock is a little bit flimsier for sure. It's definitely much easier to hold in the hands. So if you have smaller hands, you probably will appreciate the pocket edition size. If you travel a lot, if you want to carry this deck with you, the box, everything about it is very conducive to making that effortless. You can just throw this in your purse or your bag and you could take it out and work with it in a public setting and not feel like you're, you know, it's overwhelming and you're going to get stuff everywhere and you've got to watch out for what you're doing, etc. Like in this way, this is a really nice fit. Of the two, I prefer the slimmer border. I would prefer no borders, but I prefer the slimmer border in the full size. However, if I had a choice now to purchase, I would probably just go with the pocket edition because I am only using it to straight up clarify tarot in a reading, and the smaller size lends itself well to tarot. So let me just give you an example of that. Like I have the Darkwood Tarot over here, and let's say I pull the Star and I want to clarify. See how easy it is and how nice that size is compared to if we're going to go with the full size and then I'm clarifying. That feels a little bit clunkier when you're looking at the imagery of it, right? So it's all up to what you prefer, but the decks are the same. I don't feel like there's any like major difference other than the size and ease for travel, ease for clarification to tarot. I definitely prefer the pocket size for sure. So this was definitely a worthy investment for me. Again, because I'm a professional reader and I know I'm going to get my money's worth out of this deck. If I was not doing professional readings, I would pass on purchasing both because I already have the full size. So certainly if you already have the full size and you're not going to be using it for anything other than, you know, just to clarify tarot, I don't think you need to purchase the pocket edition. But if you like the idea of having it this size, the compactness, the ease to carry and travel with, then I think you will like to get the pocket edition size. And if you don't have this deck at all and you want to get to know her decks, this or the Mystical Shaman Oracle, I recommend, and they both come in the pocket size, which is really nice. So I hope if you've been on the fence about purchasing the pocket size, this gives you some clarity and insight. I am sending you, as always, oceans of love, and I will, of course, see you in the next video. Take care.